But ladies and gentlemen, the Steelers were awarded. I don't know if everybody saw the wording on that. Were awarded Miles Boykin yesterday. I saw some people was like, yo, why do we get awarded Miles? What did he do? What did he do? It's the waiver system, ladies and gentlemen. So yes, he was released by the Baltimore Ravens, and the Steelers, man, they put a claim in for him and were able to acquire his services. Miles came out, I was the 2018 draft, if I remember correctly, the one with Deontay. If I have that right, was that 2018 or was that 19?
I think he was 19.
19
20, 21.
Yeah, because he's had 3 years. So 19 then. So he was in the 2019 draft, obviously out of Notre Dame. Big prospect, 6'4", blazing speed, 4'4", stuff like that. A mixed bag though in Baltimore. I thought that, he had moments where he looked really good. I thought that he was good on some of the deep ball stuff, but we also know that their offense is a very different style of offense for the wide receiver position. So part of that, I do think, accounted for his lack in productivity. But from what I saw on tape, man, I thought as a whole, like, he definitely has some potential that I think we can tap into in a more conventional style offense than, what they were running in Baltimore with, that spread offense, zone read type situation for Lamar and things like that. But when you're talking about, low risk, high reward type situation, I think that this is the Miles Boykin signing in a nutshell. I think we're on the hook for like $2.5 million for him, which still isn't crazy bad, especially if he can tap into that potential. If he can tap into, what was so excited about him coming out of Notre Dame and, obviously what he was doing a little bit earlier in Baltimore. But for me, my initial thoughts was I liked the sign. I didn't love it because I do feel like some people loved it. I wasn't there with it, but I did like it. I was intrigued by it. What about you, man?
What's wrong with loving it though?
Nothing. I don't love
it. Like you said, I think there's literally zero risk with this because his cap hit's pretty low right now. And if we end up cutting him, it's 214,000 dead cap. But I think what you're saying is you should probably just temper your expectations. Yeah. Because loving it probably means like you think he's going to go off for us.
And I think that he'll be good. I think that he could develop, but at the same time, I remember how we felt about Dante Moncrief when he came over. And Moncrief had a little bit more productivity under his belt than him at the time. And we were excited about Moncrief, even him coming off of the Colts season. We're like, yo, we got Moncrief. Like, this about to be
He's
straight.
Supposed to be wide receiver too.
Absolutely. And we saw how that played out. And for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't, like, I like what I see, but I'm not loving it. Nope. Until I see the productivity actually start to happen. I don't love it just yet. I like the positivity with it though. And I like the upside a lot. But that was definitely like where I had that flashback of, dude, why have I felt this feeling before? And that was it. And I was like, yeah, I remember that feeling. I remember the Moncrief situation. I don't want to throw that negativity on him. But I was just like, man, it was a similar feeling in terms of just like that crazy excitement of, oh, this guy's going to answer everything that we need. He's going to answer this. He definitely gives us that. And that was just not how it worked out. And you just never know at times. That's my thing. Like, you just never know. So for me, man, like I said, I still like it a lot, though, man. 6'4" is nothing that you play with, 4.4 speed. I mean, you think Claypool, like, and think about the intangibles. I want to say they're pretty much identical. Both 6'4", both 4.4
Apparently
speed.
He's a good blocker too.
Yeah. Special teams as well. So it's like with Miles, I mean, I definitely think that he's going to help us out. I just want it to happen. That's my thing. I want it to happen, but I don't want to like put all my heart in this thing and then I get that let down. I ain't gonna like that part too much. But I do think that, he's definitely going to help us out, though, man.
No, I think that's the good thing about this move with him now being on the roster, Anthony Miller as kind of our depth guys, Cody White's in the mix. I don't think that stops us from drafting a receiver.
No, I still think you take who you want,
Man, putting him into the competition, and I do think there is a reason we claim them off waivers. That's something absolutely. Like we don't do just all the time, like willy-nilly like that. We faced him multiple times throughout his career, and maybe Tomlin and Colbert like what they see. They think they can untap that potential here.
No, man, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. And I'm trying to just lean on the side of him in a regular style offense where it's more timing based, where it's more specific in terms of what they're asking him to do. I'm hoping that that's going to open up so much more for him because it can be different playing with the Lamar. Even though he's electric, even though he extends plays, it's a different style of player to play with. No different. We talk about Kyler Murray. It's just a different style of player. It's not always coming out on time. So you might run a great route and be open, but it's like, hey, he's not seeing you here. You're going to have to keep doing this or that or that. And everybody adjusts differently to that. Whereas with Trubisky or even Mason, or if we draft or whoever we draft, whoever we roll out there and stuff like that, it is going to be more just structured to that offense, more structured to and timing with these plays and stuff like that. And I do think that's going to help him out a lot, man, because the talent is there. I mean, you cut the tape on, even when he's not getting passes thrown to him, you can still see him pulling away from guys. Even though it's weird, like he doesn't like he's running hard at all. When I watch him, I'm like, yo, he looks like he's just chilling, but I'm like, he's pulling away from everyone. So I do like that part, man. But we'll see, man. We'll definitely see. But like I said, I like it though. I definitely like it.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all. We got Claypool, buddy, though. In all seriousness, I think this is a good move from that aspect. Having man. Claypool and Deontay, two young receivers, but they're like kind of the elder statesmen at this point. Although Anthony Miller might be a little bit older, but they've been on the team longer.
Yeah.
To have those guys as the elder statesmen, to bring in the guy that was ahead of Claypool in college, I think he was a year older than Claypool. Yeah,
because he's 24, if I remember correctly.
I think that's only going to help. And you've heard nothing from this guy. I mean, you know how Marquise Brown tweeted out the stuff. Maybe there's a little bit of drama with not getting the ball. We haven't heard anything from Boykin at all. That's what some of these Ravens people I was looking up yesterday were saying about him. Like, man, you never heard a peep out of him. Just goes in and does his work. I think that's pretty good.
I guess my devil's advocate moment would be, could that also be why he got cut? Because he never complained about not getting targets. So when you look at his productivity as a whole, it's kind of like needier, like middle tier. Whereas if he would have been more vocal about, hey, man, I'm open. Throw me the ball more. I want to be a little bit more featured. Maybe he has a bigger role. Maybe he,
Well, I don't know what he
really
was saying
loves it. That's all I'm
closed
saying.
doors.
Yeah.
I just know he wasn't ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
You know how you could go through the media,
No,
or it's more or less outside noise. I don't know what he was saying.
Because I thought of it like the James Washington situation. It's like, James Washington was quiet. He did everything in terms of not rocking the boat. But it's like, what did that get him in Pittsburgh? Nothing, right? No extra productivity, no extra reps, no extra targets, and no money at the end of the day. And that's why I was kind of like, I mean, I see the positive at the same time. I could. Like, why wouldn't you say something, man? Speak up for yourself. But to each his own. And that's why I was like, just playing devil's advocate in that situation right there.
I think he could be good for Claypool, though. Bring a familiar face around. Get him in the right headspace. You never know.
Well, absolutely. And, I mean, in all seriousness, too, man, when you talk about the headspace, we do know that Chase is still going to be grieving. I mean, he's going through a process right now that is not easy when you talk about losing somebody that, you were close with, that you were working out with, and to lose them tragically as well in terms of the passing of Dwayne Haskins. So I do think, in a sense, man, having a familiar face, somebody that you're comfortable with, somebody that and maybe in some vein might even looked up to since he is older.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what their relationship was like exactly, but I gotta assume. But he was a good receiver too in his own right.
No, absolutely, man, absolutely. He was still what? It was a third round,
third round pick.
Yeah, third round pick. So it's like he still was a quality player and still went significantly. I mean, like he still went in a higher round and stuff like that. So I do think in a way though that will help with Chase during this period, because it's not going to be easy, man. When you're first showing up to that facility, especially right now, you're going to be seeing that locker. You're like, yo, I remember this is where he used to be. I remember when we used to sit here in the cafeteria in the training room. So it's like, man, just give him somebody else there that can just help him out through that phase, to comfort him in a sense. And I do think Miles will be able to bring that.
Yeah, not even that, but just as the season goes along too. I mean, we saw some of the hiccups that Claypool had with like celebrating first downs and just situational football. I think Boykin can help. Like, bro, we got to do it this way. We got to do it. It's just, I think bringing in a guy that Claypool, I don't know if Deontay is looking up to him or not, but at least Claypool, because we're waiting for Claypool.
Looking up nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Deontay, so I'm going to get a check. I don't care what y'all hollering about.
But like Claypool, I mean, we're still waiting for him to tap into his potential. And I think bringing in Boykin should only help with that, really.
Yeah.
Competition and a guy to just even be a veteran presence in there, be a friend, whatever it is.
Yep. And sometimes, man, a change of scenery. Change of scenery works. It
There's
helps.
a lot of Ravens people that
it
are
helps,
like,
man. Yeah.
We can't develop receivers. Just watch this guy be like Darren Waller whenever he went to the Raiders. Because if you think of it, over their history, they don't develop receivers that good. Like Marquise Brown still hasn't hit his potential, but a lot of their good receivers are signed in free agents. Like Mike Wallace, Anquan Bolden, Steve Smith, Torrey Smith. They might have drafted Torrey Smith.
Was drafted, yeah.
I think they did. He might be the only guy in recent memory that they developed pretty good.
Yeah. Shout out to Torrey, too. I like Torrey, man.
No, good signing. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone could complain about it or say anything negative about it, really.
I say I'm on board, man. I definitely think he's gonna help us out, though, man. Like I said, I just hope this more conventional offense really taps to that potential, man. But we shall see, baby.